2019. Georgia Miller, Maddie Dunn, very solid. Of course, Harriet Brown injured after round 2. She did not race in round 3, will not race in round 4, so almost series over for her. The defending champion, Brielle Cooper, down in 9th place, and she's been slowly building so far throughout the summer. Lizzie Wellborn had to sit out round 3 in 15th place. We're used to seeing her higher up. Doyle, Dick, Hardstaff and Bay Wildenstead inside the top 20, but have to qualify through to today's round, and a couple of those big names have missed out. The girls are on the line, getting set and ready to go. The format today is M-shape enduro, long, tough and testing. That is the name of the game here at Currumbin. It's going to take somebody special to claim the win there, and that is the series leader, Georgia Miller.
Well, Josh, we have a look at the format and today's race coming up. M-shaped format, as you said, the race will last for about 30 minutes. Now, the girls and boys are both going to have to go in and out of the water on each leg twice in an M-shaped format, meaning that through the break 6 times in total, Josh.
A tough test. Skills will be key and experience will come into play. Brielle Cooper likes it when there's a wave on. We welcome back Lizzie Wellborn after sitting around out with an illness there, and it's hugs all round on the line. Tiani Massey, one of the youngest in there, and she looks very happy. The order is ski, swim, board, so they'll go out through the break twice on each leg. Carla Papak there, former Australian junior champion from Cronulla. And all of these girls, they've been here before, no debutantes this time in the series. Brittany Pearce last on the line. And let's take a look at the start list. Cooper, Cox, Dunn, Hancock, Higginson, Tiani Massey, we spoke about her. Danielle McKenzie should be good in the big surf. The series leader, Georgia Miller, in 8. We go over the page. Carly Nerthen on her home beach. We have, well, 3 from Currumbin lining up here today. Electra Outram, Papak, Pearce, Piscaric, Rogers, Raymond. Scully over the page, Smith, Wellborn and Bay Wildenstead. So that is the 20 girls that will line up. Of course, no Harriet Brown, still with the ankle injury. The girls are on the line, set and ready to go. You can see just how big the surf is. We're off and racing. Round number 4, and already a mistake from Brielle Cooper on the start. And that's not what you want. She's got plenty of time to get back into it, but that is almost fatal. She will be at the back of the pack.
Well, Cooper struggled off the beach. Gemma Smith goes backwards there, and we're riding on with Maddie Dunn, who seems to be making the most of it, Josh. But a Shorey here at Currumbin is certainly going to sort out a few of the girls early on.
Maddie Dunn has gone over the top of Naomi Scott's ski there, and there's 2 breaks here at Currumbin. The inside little shore break there that they're trying to get through. One rolls in the middle. That looks like Kirsty Higginson forced to go under. Tian Raymond has snuck out. Lana Rogers is off her ski, so it is drama already. A 30-minute race has been blown to pieces in the first 30 seconds.
Well, it certainly has, and that's what's going to happen all day here at Currumbin, Josh. As you said, the big Shorey, we enter the gutter, which the girls now, our leaders, will be making their way through before they hit that treacherous back bank, which is breaking in about 3 or 4 feet.
Danielle McKenzie has the lead early on there, and you can see how much this field is spread out after just negotiating the shore break. So it's McKenzie from Georgia Miller there, Carla Papak in 3rd, Hannah Scully in 4th, and then hanging on is Tiani Massey, who's having a strong opening leg. Tian Raymond back into 6th place as well. So the field very, very spread out, and a couple of the big names a long way down. Dunn's well down. You can see the yellow ski of Lizzie Wellborn there as well. Lana Rogers is just coming into shot after rolling off the top of that one with Electra Outram. And this is the group we were talking about at the moment. Dunn, Hayley Cox is there. Brielle Cooper's behind her as the girls go up and over out the back. This huge set that's coming through at Currumbin.
So there is a group of girls out in front, Josh, about 7 or 8 girls leading the way. Then we've got the chase pack following in behind. There's Kirsty Higginson there with Brielle Cooper. So a fair way back at this stage early on is our former series champion.
I think they're in 3rd last, 2nd last there. Naomi Scott looks to be in last place after getting absolutely obliterated. The only difference between Naomi Scott winning and losing in the last couple of weeks has been the surf. She's had some horrid luck every time she's gone around. She's fit enough, she's fast enough, but if she can just get a break from Mother Nature, I think she'll win a round later this year. But Danielle McKenzie is having no problems negotiating the tough swell out the back of Currumbin as they turn for home. It's still Still Mackenzie in 1. Georgia Miller in 2 there, trying very hard. Lana Rogers, Electra Outram, the training partners from Noosa, go around. Maddie Dunn negotiates with Kirsty Higginson there as well, and Brielle Cooper, as they all get around those cans and start to make their way home. Naomi Scott as well is in 20th place.
Yeah, a lot of work to do from Naomi Scott, and she's been in very good form, Josh, so we'll be looking to make her way back through this field and has plenty of time to do so, but also has plenty of waves to negotiate on the way out and back in. We see the girls heading back into the beach now, and this is different from our traditional racing. We normally look at them complete a square course. This time we spoke about the M shape, so the girls will go out around one can, the grey can on the ski, blue can for the board, and the white Nutri cans for the swim.
Well, we're used to seeing it. It's that Northcliffe cap, white with maroon star on the right-hand side. Danielle McKenzie in the centre, Georgia Miller to the far left, Hannah Scully. Tiani Massey tries to go down. She's not going to get down it, I don't think, or maybe she'll come down very, very late. Carla Papak's there, one of the younger girls in the field, and Gemma Smith, very, very strong on the ski. So as they make their way to the beach, they're going to have to put the pressure down. Oh, Mackenzie goes sideways. Mackenzie goes sideways. The ski's up and over. She's backwards. That is not what you want. Look at her paddling it backwards. That's very skillful. She's going to have to spin it around and drag it up the beach. There's skis going left, right, and centre. Scully's backwards. Smith's off. Papak's let her ski go. Tiani Massey's the only one who's kept her head, and Georgia Miller's in the lead.
Well, Georgia Miller is in 1, Josh, and as the girls get these 18-kilo skis up out of the water's edge, it looked very messy, and it is also very tricky to get them out of the water and around our M-shaped turning flag.
Brielle Cooper on the left-hand side there. She's riding Naomi Scott sideways. So's Lizzie Wellborn. Courtney Hancock's come off. So in just half the opening ski leg, there has been carnage everywhere. You can see Courtney Hancock's ski there, the pink and black. She's swimming her way back to the beach while the rest of the field's going out. Hayley Cox is there. Maddie Dunn comes around. Electra Outram got the lightning bolt on her ski. Bay Wilton Snedden. Kirsty Higginson's down. Lizzie Wellborn, welcome back to racing. It's very, very tough. Brittany Pierce, she looks determined, but she's got a lot of work to do there. She gets that ski up and around, and one of the toughest things to do is drag that ski through an M-shaped race, isn't it, Jack?
Well, absolutely, Josh, and we can see the girls making their way out now as Courtney Hancock comes up to grab her ski. So a lot of work to do, and we've got girls now negotiating the break. They think it's tough going out. It's also tough coming back in. We've got girls losing skis, off, going sideways, absolutely everywhere. And at the moment, as they head around, that's Naomi Scott in 20th place.
If you're Naomi Scott, if you're Courtney Hancock, you know you're down, but there's a lot of time left in this race. What's going through your mind?
Well, they'll be trying to work their way back into it. They can't panic now, and it's fairly simple at the moment with this course. A lot of the girls should be trying to look to head left. Every time they enter the water, there is quite a large run out working out to the left-hand side. Now, it can be tricky because on this leg, they're trying to get around the cans towards the right or the southern side of the course.
Despite paddling backwards, Danielle McKenzie still worked her way back into second place. Georgia Miller's got the lead, and you just can't let Georgia Miller go. We know she's probably as fit as she's ever been. She wins the Coolangatta Gold in the preseason as Naomi Scott goes up and over. Oh, and Mother Nature hands her another dose, and you can see that she's not flustered, but you can tell that she's not having a great day there. She just wants a break as Georgia Miller paddles out into the green water. Danielle McKenzie in second. Carla Papak alongside Carly Nerthen. So she's really moved her way up in this second half of the ski leg. They'll head out to that grey can, make the turn for home and leave the ski behind. Ski, swim, board is the order. Gemma Smith's been hit again. Brielle Cooper and Lana Rogers side by side working their way through. But as you said about Courtney Hancock before, there's plenty of time to get back into this race as long as you're skillful.
Well, there certainly is, and the same goes for Naomi Scott, Josh, but we saw her mouth wide open. We can see Brielle Cooper there. She's a little bit more relaxed. She's out in the back of the break and will be able to work her way back. Naomi Scott was still getting hit by whitewater only seconds ago, and what that means for Naomi Scott is she's got to try and settle down and control that breathing. As I said, mouth wide open. She's sucking in the big ones, while Danielle McKenzie and Georgia Miller out in front are fairly relaxed and now on the way home.
And sometimes it's just as tough to manage these skis on the way home as it is on the way out. A wave is building. It's on for a couple here. Hannah Scully's going to go down that one on the left-hand side, and all Brielle Cooper can do at the back of the field is watch on on as the leaders get a free run home, but Scully falls off, and it's still the Northcliffe pair of Danielle McKenzie on the left, Georgia Miller on the right, but the work's not done. Miller comes down very, very late. They're going to have to put the power down, get the tail of the ski out of that white water, and Miller's had to ride the bucking Bronco. She looks like she's going sideways. She's going to take out her teammate. I think she's going to knock her off, and Danielle McKenzie, as calm as a cucumber, has no problems at all, just paddling out in front of this one and leaving her teammate behind her. Oh, she goes sideways as well. Jack, I think I spoke too soon.
Absolutely, Josh. The girls are in all sorts at the moment. So our two leaders off their skis now and swimming. Danielle McKenzie, luckily enough, she can stand up and wade there as Hannah Scully comes through. So has come through and will join and be very close to Danielle McKenzie as Carla Papak comes off her ski, Josh. So Carla Papak has slewed, almost T-boned Hannah Scully, and Danielle McKenzie has up and into transition.
After the first leg, and Hannah Scully did not come off her ski in that opening leg, neither did Tiani Massey. So two of the younger girls in the field showing experience beyond their years in second place. Brielle Cooper trying to hold on. The nose goes in. She puts the power down. Carla Papak's done well despite coming off. Gemma Smith's through there as well. Carly Nerthen on her home beach in fourth place. Tiani Massey in fifth. Georgia Miller, after losing her ski on the way down, back to sixth. Look at the concentration on Lizzie Wellborn's face. Tian Raymond's had a strong start, and Lana Rogers has got herself back into it and looks very, very determined to go up and through transition. Higginson's there. Bay Wildenstead, the training partner of Brielle Cooper. So inside the top 10, and Maddie Dunn is facing the wrong way, upside down, back to front, inside out, and everything other than what you want to be doing at the moment for one of the girls who's won around this season so far. Electra Outram, Taylor Piscaric went through before that, and Lizzie Wellborn's making her way through, trying to get back into the race now. And these girls head out into the swim leg, and they're going to have to dive deep underneath these waves and use the rip that's running out there at the moment if they want to make the most of this swim leg.
Well, that will be their ticket to ride, Josh. That is like jumping on an escalator and riding it out to sea. The fastest path from off the beach out to the cans is going to be out to the left-hand side. As we see our leaders duck under that one, they'll be looking to get themselves down deep to the bottom. And in the shorey, it's only going to be fairly shallow. It's when they hit that back bank where it gets a whole lot trickier.
Courtney Hancock still making her way in. So's Brittany Pierce as the girls make their way out in the swim at the moment, and it's still our leaders hanging on and trying to make their way through. Maddie Dunn has not had the best start to this race. She is a long way down. Courtney Hancock, she's got her best two legs to come here, swim and board, and someone who's hoping to get a little bit of luck for the rest of this race is Naomi Scott as she goes up and around. So this race is only 10 minutes down, and we've still got 20 more to go. So big race, and endurance is going to come into it.
Well, Naomi Scott, our last competitor to come round off that ski leg, Josh, will be looking to use her strength, which is her swim, to go to work and try and close the gap off as we see our leaders making their way out and are almost at the back of the break. So plenty of room for Naomi Scott and plenty of work to do if she's going to pull her way back into this one.
Still out in front at the moment, Hannah Scully and Danielle McKenzie swimming side by side like they do at training. Georgia Miller in third place in the blue rash vest chasing. So it's 1, 2 and 3 for Northcliffe as we've seen most of the summer. It looks like Tiani Massey has swum her way up into fourth place. Carla Papak's there as well alongside that group, and Gemma Smith has just swum her way from Umina, has just swum her way onto the back of this group, and swim second leg after the ski. Your arms are going to be really hurting after managing and wrestling that ski out and back and around, and that first group seems to be coming together, and in the second group, a couple of the Kurrawa caps there, Bay Wildenstead and Brielle Cooper. Kirsty Higginson is in that pack as well, and these girls will be hoping for a wave on the way home because there's some strong swimmers in that front group, and the swim's not their best leg.
Well, Josh, with the ski being over now and the swim currently in the water, this is probably the one leg where you can make up the most ground by picking up a wave from out the back. If you are lucky enough, if you have sat there and watched the racing before this in your warm-up, gone to the right places and picked the right path.
And as one of the best coaches in the sport, how much of the mentors, the coaches, the parents got to do with those decisions before you go into a race? Which line you take on the way out and which line you take on the way home? home.
Well, Josh, it is certainly something that comes under discussion, and the coaches, the athletes, the managers, they all will be watching the water very, very closely. And, I certainly tell my boys and girls to be watching every race that goes on out here and just trying to assess what they think will be the best before we come together and actually make a decision or a race plan in terms of course management.
And on a day like today, these big swells out the back, if you can hold one all the way to the beach, it might be tough, but that could be the meaningful break that you get as the race starts to come back together. And our two leaders, Scully and Mackenzie, seem to have been caught by Georgia Miller and the rest of the group at the moment. So as the race comes together, one wave can really shake it up.
Well, we've seen Georgia Miller go from strength to strength, particularly in this swim leg. We know it's her strongest leg. She's going to be looking to lay it all out there. She's got quite a long distance. This swim leg here today is probably 600 plus metres. She knows they're going to spend potentially longer even, Josh, maybe even up to around 10 minutes. And for Georgia Miller, that's going to be her opportunity to make the biggest difference.
Well, here we go. A wave's on, and the leaders have been caught and passed by one or two. I can't pick up the caps at the moment, but there's more swell out the back, so I think this order is really going to be turned on its head at the moment. And those waves just haven't broke for the girls on the right-hand side, but they're definitely going to pick up one or two in the centre here, but that might even be not enough. So the girls have swum a little bit too far in to make the most out of these waves, and it's a Kurrawa cap that's gone to the lead at the moment. Out the back, somebody gets one on the head. It looks like Gemma Smith's going to try and pick one up as well, but they're just filling up, and they're all going to get down this one. Over and down the face of that. A Northcliffe cap pops out the front there. We'll wait to see who stands up. Maybe Hannah Scully, and what about the body surfing from her there? Unbelievable. She's going to get that all the way to the beach. Great surf skills from Hannah Scully. If you're watching on at home, that is some of the best in the business. Head down, arms out in front, stiff like a board, the big kick breathing under the arms, and she will get that right up onto the sand. And Hannah Scully will for the first time be leading a race in the Nutri Ironwoman series as she gets to the halfway mark of this M-shape format race. We'll see who stands up next, and it's Kirsty Higginson. So from well down in the field, Kirsty Higginson's had a blinder of a swim, a little bit of luck with the wave, but everyone there had their opportunities. Gemma Smith goes down, one gets thrown down the face as well as the girls start to make their way into the shore break. Georgia Miller stands up, Carla Papak stands up. There's arms, legs, and girls everywhere. Brielle Cooper has come from the clouds. She gets the hurry up from handler there, Dan Carruthers, former world board champion. She goes up, he says, you're in third place. Tian Raymond goes round in fourth place there. A couple of the girls go to the right, Jack. A couple of the girls go to the left.
Well, we see the girls take different lines on the way out, and the girls heading to the left are trying to work into the rip. We saw Kirsty Higginson. She's currently sitting in second place, head left. We saw Hannah Scully, our current leader, head right. So we'll have to wait and see which line puts these girls out in front.
So Scully seems to have gone the way most of the field has decided, all down to that right-hand side. Carly Nerthen went from fourth to well down the field in just one leg. Bay Wilton Snedden stands up, and so does Taylor Biscaric, and it seems like Higginson might be the only one who's gone to that left-handed rip at the moment. Lizzie Wellborn is around as well.
Yeah, Kirsty Higginson certainly went left. Tian Raymond went there as well, Josh. So these girls trying to work into the rip straight away. We can actually see them making their way through the break as our back markers are starting to get waves in this Shorian head-in. Now, what's going to happen? That sweep is moving from the south to the north, from the right-hand side of screen to your left. And what that means is the girls that have headed right are going to get swept down into the rip anyway. So what Kirsty Higginson and Tian Raymond are trying to do is put themselves in the rip straight away and use that to get to the back of the break.
But the big risk is if they get swept down too far, they'll have a long, long swim back to that first turning can as we see Naomi Scott and Brittany Pearce stand up and start to work their way in, and all our girls are around. We'll be back after the break with the second half of the race. The Ocean6, the girls are into the swim. They've managed to deal with the ski. They're out in the swim, and just like that, Kirsty Higginson's moved to go all the way down to the left-hand side of the screen, the northern end, and use that rip on the way out as paid dividends. She's gone straight into the lead. You can see Hannah Scully in the pink on the right-hand side, but she's got a long swim back, and it looks like that left-hand rip we were talking about before the break has definitely worked.
Well, Josh, it has at this stage, and Scully's been swept a fair way down as well. So we see that white can come into play. That is not the can they're swimming for. They're swimming going for the other white can on the right-hand side that is not even in our picture just yet. So Scully has less distance to swim back against that sweep and that water moving from the right to the left-hand side of screen. But Higginson seems to be a fair distance further out at this stage and has gone from second into the lead.
Similar stories for both these athletes. Kirsty Higginson burst onto the scene a couple of years ago, finished runner-up in the Nutri Ironwoman series, but then had to have a year off with illness and injury there. Hannah Scully was a bit the same, sat out most of last year with injury, had to have surgery, and has come back this year bigger and better and really stamped her mark on the series so far. So both these girls with something to prove, and they're in first and second at the halfway mark of round 4 of the series. Looks like Tian Raymond's hanging on to third place there. She's lost the cap, really pushing hard. Brielle Cooper hot on her heels. So Tian Raymond went that left-hand northern rip as well, and it looks like it's worked. A masterstroke from her coach. That's you, Jack Hansen.
Yeah, Tian had assessed the conditions before she went out there, Josh, and knew that was her plan and what she wanted to do, and it certainly held her in good stead at this way as we get to over halfway through this female iron race.
Does that make coaching a little bit easier when your athletes are assessing the conditions, they're picking their race plan, they've got some sort of idea, and yours is just reinforcement?
Yeah, look, it certainly gives you a couple of options, and it's always good to get an idea of the athletes. And my biggest thing in my coaching is that I'm not just telling them what to do out there. I really want them to be learning, because there may be a time or a day where their coaches or people may not be around, and they've got to make their own decisions and go out there and actually trust in their ability to be able to read the surf and the conditions.
They're using their ability here today. Kirsty Higginson tries to get down one over the top. She pushes, falls down the front of that. The girls behind her are on waves as well. Hannah Scully, great body surfing on a bigger wave, and you can see that sweep pushing Higginson from right to left on the screen. Scully's almost gone out of shot, and Higginson falls off the back. So just threw the head up ever so slightly. The hips dropped, she fell off, and we'll have a look to see if Hannah Scully's managed to ride it the whole way through. Can Kirsty Higginson pick this one up broken? She does. Great body surfing, but once again pops the head up, and those two mistakes there as she looks back out to sea. The girls are still coming in on waves. Hannah Scully's picked up that one and is absolutely flying on the way in, but both those girls popped their head up, looked up, the hips went down, and they've fallen off the back of these waves.
Yeah, a little bit of work to do from these girls in terms of holding that ride all the way through to the beach, and it is going to be Scully and Higginson. As Scully waits for a little wave there, she'll probably join Kirsty Higginson as she holds this one right through up onto the sand, and it's Higginson now in 1, Scully in 2, in a race heading into the final board leg.
Ski down, swim down, board to finish, and we're almost at the 2/3 away mark of this Ironwoman final. Kirsty Higginson from Surfers Paradise, originally from the south coast of New South Wales, is in the lead. Hannah Scully, one of the young guns from Northcliffe, she'll go round in second place. Board is the last leg, and once again Higginson just goes straight in, deciding not to use the rip, and it looks like Hannah Scully's going to follow.
Well, they'll allow that sweep to take them in, and Higginson will be trying to work high on the high side of that rip and allow that sweep to take her down to the left and into that water, which is working out to sea. We see Dan Carruthers get down, get dirty with Brielle Cooper on the water's edge, and he'll be trying to let her know what she needs to do and the time gap that she has. Now's her opportunity to work through transition and try and pull back Hannah Scully and Kirsty Higginson, who have been held up in the shore break.
A former competitor himself, Carruthers looks like he could still go around. Tian Raymond in 4th place, and that's the gap back down. Brielle Cooper's picking her board up. Tian Raymond's going into transition, and there's plenty of work to do, but they're close enough if they're good enough, because Mother Nature can be very, very cruel, and if you get caught underneath the set, this could be game over. But Brielle Cooper, it looks like she's trying to get her series defense back on track. It hasn't been the best start to the summer so far, but this could be a turning point. Danielle McKenzie, Gemma Smith, Tiani Massey, they're in 5, 6, and 7 as they go up the beach, and they're looking for a strong transition and a good early start to this board leg if they're going to catch these girls on the podium.
So quite a good swim there from Danielle McKenzie, Josh. She's probably one of our better craft specialists in this event. She's held on very, very well in the swim, so she'll be looking to go onto one of her main strengths, which will be her board leg.
Carla Papak there, and Courtney Hancock, after being last place at one point, is back inside the top 10. So is Lana Rogers. There goes Lizzie Wellborn. We just missed her as well. And Georgia Miller, after leading early, is outside the top 10 at the moment and has plenty of work to do there. Maddie Dunn goes in, Bay Wildenstead and Electra Outram as well, Taylor Piscaric, and then Carly Nerthen. So here is Lizzie Wellborn. She's lost the cap, the North Bondi competitor, and she's charging her way through the field. One of the best board paddlers in the business there on the yellow board, the right-hand side. We can see Gemma Smith out in front of her there. Lana Rogers. There's girls all over this Currumbin shore break. Oh, Maddie Dunn just got smacked, and Naomi Scott and Brittany Pearce are still back in 19th and 20th place.
Well, plenty of work to do as we see Taylor Piscaric pop up over a wave there, so you've got to get through the shore as quick as possible. Danielle McKenzie is making her way through the gutter as Hayley Cox and Naomi Scott are still making their way through transition. They will be second last and third last to go into the water.
And Brittany Pearce still left to go round from the Wanda Club as our leaders. They're just rolling. Tian Raymond, that's her white and pink board who had to roll. Brielle Cooper goes up and over that set. And that's three girls out in the green water, and the rest of the field are being forced to sit up and pop these big sets that are coming throughout the back here. And as we're on with Brielle Cooper, she is head down and going to work and trying to remain on the podium. Pearce from Wanda comes up and around. Former Australian Ironman champion Nathan Smith, her coach and handler there, giving her words of advice because it is not over. These girls are getting smacked on the back bank.
Well, there was 1 to 2 metres between Brielle Cooper and Tian Raymond, and Brielle Cooper snuck up over the set. Tian Raymond copped 3 waves on the head and now is sitting back in the chase pack as there are 3 clear leaders. We've got Kirsty Higginson out in 1, Hannah Scully currently in 2, and Brielle Cooper heading to the cans in 3.
And you know what's crazy? The rest of the field's still trying to get through this break at the moment as Kirsty Higginson's just broken away from Hannah Scully. She's got a 3 board length lead at the moment. There's a little wave starts to brew. As you can see on the left-hand side, the girls are out in the green water now. Gemma Smith's gone through. Lizzie Wellborn's there. Courtney Hancock, Tian Raymond, they're all there. They're all chasing this girl and a spot on the podium, the defending series champion, Brielle Cooper. And here comes a wave. Will Kirsty Higginson get it on the left-hand side, or will Hannah Scully run over the top? I don't think so. I don't think either of them will get it. And this chase pack has really thickened up at the moment. Lizzie Wellborn on her tail. We can just see there is Lana Rogers as she lies down. That is the back of that group there, just trying to hang on at the moment. Georgia Miller's trying to tack on as well. So there's plenty of work for these girls. And, well, the difference between maybe 12th and 4th place is a couple of board lengths.
Well, it certainly is, Josh, and there's plenty of speed in this chase pack. Danielle McKenzie's there, as is Tiani Massey. Or we see a hand on the nose of Lizzie Wellborn's board from Danielle McKenzie. That's certainly not in the rules. You cannot grab anyone else's board and pull it back, and it certainly looked to me like there was a full hand on the nose of Lizzie Wellborn's board.
Well, drama there. We'll see what is said after the race, and down comes Hannah Scully, down comes Kirsty Higginson, and they'll go side by side. So after 5 legs, Brielle Cooper, she looks like she's going to pick up a wave as well. Grabs the back strap to pull the nose up, and Hannah Scully is in the lead of this race. Kirsty Higginson hanging on, and she'll be kicking herself. She did everything right, and you can see the girls. One goes right, one goes left. Kirsty Higginson's gone back into that initial rip, the one that took her out so well. Hannah Scully has gone to the southern end, the right-hand side of the field. She thinks she sees a gap out there, and this could be the moment this race is decided. First and second going 2 separate ways on the way out, and Brielle Cooper's fallen off a wave. So is that the moment that she loses her opportunity to win this race?
A little mistake from Brielle Cooper. Lana Rogers comes down a wave. She'll hold this one all the way through. A big set on the back bank, Josh, and Courtney Hancock has made another mistake in this race. So a race I think Courtney Hancock would rather remember. Mistakes make a big difference. They put you out of the race, particularly over this type of distance and length.
Oh, Lana Rogers split that field like you can't imagine, and you see Brielle Cooper look around. She knows that mistake is going to cost her. She's getting a big hurry up from Dan Carruthers there as she heads in, and she could have been 2 or 3 waves in front, but at the moment she is just 1. And Courtney Hancock on the wave behind. Tiani Massey is there. So's Danielle McKenzie. Carla Papak is having the race of her life. Lana Rogers, after getting that wave, is up into 4th place there as she comes around. And so is Tian Raymond and Lizzie Wellborn. So a group of 6 girls chasing a podium place. Courtney Hancock, Georgia Miller, Gemma Smith, 3 of the best in the business, all trying to get themselves inside the top 10. And I think they don't know how they've ended up this far back, because at one point they all look very, very close to the lead, and Georgia Miller looks determined to keep her series hopes and the lead of the overall point score alive. Maddie Dunn up and around. Electra Outram, Carly Nerthen and Bay Wilton Snedden in that yellow and white Kurrawa cap go in and around, and Carly Nerthen on her home beach for Currumbin looking to get a big performance, but none of these girls, almost over. Taylor Biscaric has almost run into Georgia Miller. Georgia Miller's gone flipping over. Gemma Smith's backwards, and I think we just missed some carnage there. What skills from Taylor Biscaric to get out of the way, and out the back, Hannah Scully is into green water and she's in the lead.
Well, not a mistake that Georgia Miller would normally make. And I think the fact that Taylor Piscaric was there as we see Hayley Cox, another one of the Currumbin girls, make her way on a wave from out the back. Naomi Scott, she's certainly starting to work her way back in, but it might be too little too late as we see Hannah Scully. And that decision to head right, Josh, on this final board leg has certainly paid off. There's Kirsty Higginson on your left-hand side of screen, making her way out behind Hannah Scully. A little bit of work to do now. So Scully, our clear leader, and it looks as though the rating of Scully has gone up. She knows she's the leader and she doesn't want to let Higginson back into this one.
And Brielle Cooper's into 3rd. She's not that far behind Kirsty Higginson in 2nd place. And if you're watching on at home and wonder why they just don't go straight out, well, that is the difference. Either going left or right, picking the right line, or finding a rip can make there. Those girls went in side by side, but in 2 different areas of the beach, and that is the gap. And both these girls, you'd say, paddle roughly the same speed. Maybe Kirsty Higginson might be a little bit quicker, but at the moment, Hannah Scully has put on an absolute clinic at the moment. She's in the lead. Kirsty Higginson in 2nd place, Brielle Cooper in 3rd, and then the chase pack of Danielle McKenzie, Carla Papak and Lizzie Wellborn trying to get themselves onto the podium there, going very, very hard. And the gaps, well, they're big, but they're not big enough to feel comfortable, especially in conditions like this. Then Tian Raymond, Tiani Massey trying to get themselves back into this. Lana Rogers is there as well, paddling very, very hard. But on the way home, Hannah Scully on the right-hand side is almost back into the break zone as a couple of little lumps on the horizon start to build.
Well, Josh, I just want to pull you up there. You said Kirsty Higginson probably has the board speed. Hannah Scully is currently, after 3 rounds, the current series board leader. She hasn't finished outside the top 10, outside the top 7, in fact, was the winner in round 1, finished 3rd in round 2 and 7th in round 3. So Hannah Scully is certainly on fire this season on the board.
She is in form, that's for sure, and she's going away from the field. She looks around, there's a little lump here. Higginson's doing her best. She knows if she can get a wave, she can get back into this, but Scully starts to lift. This could be the moment. She goes down and claims her first ever race. She pushes. No, heartbreak. You see the little fist bump there. She knows she missed an opportunity. Kirsty Higginson should have gone down that one, so that's a mistake like that, and I think this will hand Hannah Scully her first ever Nutri-Grain Ironwoman Series race win. She pulls the nose up, and as easy as she likes, she's going to ride all the way to the beach. So a mistake from Scully into a mistake from Higginson keeps the order the same as. Out the back, there's a couple of waves on that might shake up the minor placings. Higginson gets a wave. Hannah Scully, you will not wipe the smile off her face for a very, very long time. She did it tough. She did it her way, made a decision, and the smarter racer won out at the end of the day. Picked the line. Coach Naomi Flood meets her on the sand. It'll be hugs, high fives, and happy times all round for those two. And Hannah Scully will claim her first ever Nutri-Grain Ironwoman Series round. It is a huge win for Hannah Scully. It's a favourite win on the beach, and our round 4 winner, Hannah Scully, breaks the tape and claims the maximum of 100 points. Kirsty Higginson up and around in 2nd place there. A great performance from her as well. She'll be very, very happy with that one there. She fought hard all day long. These two went head to head, and they were very happy with that. And Brielle Cooper, what a way to turn her title defence around. She will get the bronze medal today, and her hopes of keeping a back-to-back series title stay alive. And have a look at the sprint up the line. Danielle McKenzie, Lizzie Wellborn, Carla Papak. She's been left behind. McKenzie gets there. She'll get 4th place there. Lizzie Wellborn in 5th, Papak 6th, her best result. The sprint's on for the minor places. Up and around, Rogers, Hancock, Massey get across. All top 10 finishes. Great from Hancock, considering how tough a day she had. Tian Raymond, she had a tough one there in that final board leg. Deserved more. Georgia Miller finishes outside the top 10 for the first time this series, and she can see the disappointment on our current series leader's face. And let's see if she's still on top of the point score after this. And you can see the determination from these girls in the final sprints up. They know every place counts because every point counts for the overall series title.
Well, it certainly does, Josh, and a great result there for the young gun, Hannah Scully, taking her first ever Nutri victory in round 4.
Unbelievable from the young gun there. Pescara, Carly Nerthen, Naomi Scott goes up and around, so gets a little bit after that, and you can see tears, hugs and happiness. Zane Hamill there, the coach of Surfers Paradise, very happy with 2nd place for Kirsty Higginson. But the final results, Hannah Scully on top for the first time ever. The Northcliffe Star. We'll hopefully see many more of those. We head further down the page. Brielle Cooper gets a 3rd there. Maddie Dunn, Pescara, Nerthen, Cox and Pearce.
Here we are, guys. We're Kellogg's Nutri-Grain. Unstoppable performance, round 4 winner Hannah Scully. What's going through your mind right now?
Pretty much nothing. I just can't believe it. I love the surf, so it's good to get out there. I was excited to race. I just can't believe I came through with the win.
Obviously, tough conditions out there, but you've got to take it on. You can't hold anything back in taking on these conditions.
No, you just got to pretty much trust yourself and just go for it, and then it just pays off, I think, in the end. You notice the people that are hesitating are going to end up being at the back, so you just got to trust that you can hold the waves and just go for it.
Like, obviously you train with a quality field there at BMD Northcliffe, but what does it mean for you to crack your first ever Kellogg's Nutri-Grain win?
No, it just shows that the training is paying off. I couldn't race in any of this last year, so I'm pretty much just happy to be in the final and to take a win. It's just unbelievable.
Well, to overcome what she has, that is a massive result for Hannah Scully. She's inside the top 8 there, equal on points with training partner Courtney Hancock, but Georgia Miller remains on top of the overall point score. Maddie Dunn, after a day to forget, in 2nd, and Kirsty Higginson, a big result, gets her up into 3rd place. Further down the page, Harriet Brown didn't get any points. Carly Nerthen, not the result she'd wanted. And Jordan Mercer sat this round out. Dick Massey and Bay Wilden Snedden all inside the